that the Nippon Foundation first came before the United Nations Human Rights Commission to call attention to the stigma and discrimination suffered by persons affected by leprosy. Since then, the Nippon Foundation, in close cooperation with the Japanese government and other stakeholders, has advocated for the human rights of the persons affected by leprosy and their family members. In 2010, the United Nations General Assembly unanimously adopted a resolution on elimination of discriminations against persons affected by leprosy and their family members. The resolution and accompanying set of principles and guidelines affirm the dignity of those affected by leprosy and their entitlement to human rights. However, it is my understanding that the Advisory Committee's report, which has been submitted to the Human Rights Council at this meeting, expresses the concern that efforts by states to fully implement the principles and guidelines are, regrettably, far from enough. I must emphasize that persons affected by leprosy and their family members still suffer violations of human rights in many parts of the world. Therefore, we strongly support the resolution on elimination of discriminations against persons affected by leprosy and their family members submitted to this 35th session of the Human Rights Council by the Japanese government. We are confident that member states will recognize why it is needed and that this resolution will be adopted at this session. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Organización Internacional para la Eliminación de toda forma de discriminación racial. Tiene el uso de la palabra.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a joint statement of effort in Geneva.
Droits de l'homme, tels que Tirumuru Gandhi, Deisan José, Ilamaren et Arun. Et nous demandons leur libération. Ces militants ont été arrêtés le 21 mai 2017 pour avoir conduit une veillée à la bougie pour la mort des Tamouls durant la guerre civile. Ils ont été arrêtés sous la loi Gundaz Act, détenus pour plusieurs inculpations. Nous avons besoin de votre intervention pour leur libération et arrêter la criminalisation des activités des défenseurs des droits de l'homme. Merci.
CIA tiene el uso de la palabra. Ausente. Develop Association for Preservation and Development of Tibetan Culture tiene el uso de la palabra. Ausente. International Career Support Association tiene el uso de la palabra.
I am Masako Ganaha from Okinawa, Japan. I wish to report about the situation in Okinawa and an attempt on June 15th to misuse the United Nations by a violent anti-US-based activist named Hiroji Yamashiro. Human rights and freedom of expression of local citizens are being threatened by outside anti-base protesters and communist revolutionaries, as well as domestic partisan media organizations. These groups use the very protection they have to suppress the rights of those whom they oppose. He is currently out on bail after being arrested for several crimes, such as forcible obstruction of business, interference of public duties, damage to property, trespassing to the U.S. bases, and physical violence. He is the very person threatening our rights, which makes his appearance here ironic. He says that the Japanese government is endangering human rights and freedom of speech. This is not only untrue, but the very fact that someone accused of criminal cases is allowed by the government of Japan to leave the country and speak at an international body is proof that human rights and freedom of speech are protected and valued in Japan. I believe in the justice and fairness of the United Nations and trust that you will handle this correctly, understanding the facts in Okinawa and, if necessary, rebuking him and the activists and biased media for their threatening behavior. On behalf of the victims, I thank you.